Hello, seniors. Today we're going to be talking about understanding your financial aid award. We're going to be going over a lot of information today, but it's important because this is how you figure out how much money you got. So please try to take in as much as possible and remember that we're always here to support you. Here's our agenda for today. By the end of today's webinar, you'll be able to explain the major types of financial aid, and you'll be able to interpret a financial aid award letter. Our agenda is that first we're going to go over why is this important? Why are we talking about this? We're going to hear from an alum and their experiences with financial aid. We'll have a general overview of how to compare financial aid award letters, and we'll briefly show you how to use Overgrad to compare your financial aid offers. And we'll finish with some action items. But before we get into that, here's a reminder that you must complete your financial aid forms ASAP, and this can be the FAFSA, WASFA, or the DREAM Act. The final deadline is March 2nd, and if you need support, you can ask your mentor or you can email us at collegereadiness@summitps.org. But please remember that colleges have financial aid priority deadlines, so you must submit your applications before these deadlines to get the best packages. And realistically, some deadlines are passing already. We still encourage you to apply and to work with financial aid offices directly if you have additional questions. So why are we talking about this? Let's go over why we're talking about financial aid. Many of you are starting to get acceptances and different offers, which is very exciting. But we wanted to share this infographic with you. In 2016 to 2017, and we know this is a little old, but the point remains the same. The average undergraduate received $8,440 in grants. This is money you don't have to pay back. The average undergraduate also received $4,620 of loans and other types of aid like work study totaling $1,340. 24% of families that year cited cost as the deciding factor in making their final college choice. Now this is where it gets crazy. So check out the bottom of the screen. You'll see data about how confusing these college financial aid award letters can be. Colleges used 143 different terms for federal direct unsubsidized loans, and of these, 26 of the 143 didn't even use the term loan. So our goal today is to help you make sense of these different offers so you can choose the best financial aid package for you. Before we get into how to decipher your offer, let's first hear from an alum and their experience with financial aid. And as you listen to them, think, what advice are they offering? What resonates with you?
Hey everyone, I hope this video finds you all well. It's crazy to believe that about a year ago I was in your guys' exact same shoes. It's crazy how fast time has flown by. It's also so exciting that you guys are hearing back from your colleges and getting those financial aid packages. So today I'm just going to be talking a little bit more about my experience with financial aid. I think the first thing I would say is definitely keep applying to scholarships. There's always scholarships going on, and that's something I didn't know until I was like a senior and like in that position. So definitely apply to all the scholarships that you can, even if they're small, even if they seem silly. Any amount like accounts for a greater amount, you know. Yeah, just apply to as many scholarships as you can. Those national ones, you know, I don't want to discourage anyone, but they are harder and more competitive to get into. So just keep your options open. I like to live by this like little saying that I tell myself that like never close the door to opportunity when you might need that open door later. You know, so just keep that in mind. And the other thing I would probably suggest would be sitting down and having that honest conversation, if you haven't yet, with your parents, and knowing where you stand like financially will help you so much like later, like once that May 1st deadline is approaching. I remember like I knew what my family's financial situation was, like I kind of like knew, and like I would kind of talk about it, but we never like sat down and like actually like talked about it, like what schools are off the table, what schools are worth fighting for, and what school would be like that financial like safety. And honestly, I wish I would have done that, because it would have saved me so much like stress, and less of an emotional roller coaster. I didn't decide what school I was going to go to until the day before May 1st. I don't recommend doing that. So talk to your families like early on. And yeah, like if I would have done that, I could have, clearly like told my parents like, hey, like these are the two schools that are like my top two. One is like financially like the better option, but this is another school that I really want to go to. Like, how can we make this work? Is it like just not worth it? Or like, like really like talking about that, and like, and your unique situation, because everyone's situation is different. I think in my experience, it would have been helpful to have had that conversation earlier on with my family, so they could have seen like how much I really wanted to go to this school, and like how much, it meant to me. And just like doing what was in our hands to like make it possible. So I think like by having that conversation, like I was mentioning, like it will help you like rule out what you want and what you don't want. I know all of you guys applied to many great schools, I'm assuming. And just most of my offers look the same, but mentally, like I knew like these are like my top two, maybe that's like a third one. And like I had them crystal clear, like laid out, and just like walking your parents or like whoever is helping you in this process, walking them through that is going to be so much helpful, so you guys are on the same page. Because going to college, yeah, it's about the money. Well, it's not all about the money. It's also really important about like your happiness and what you want, but just kind of like knowing like what fights are worth like fighting for. I realized too late that the fight that I was trying to fight was not worth fighting for, because it was just not doable for my family. But it's okay. It stung a lot at first, but it's okay, and things happened the way they happened for a reason, and I couldn't be happier to be at UW. It's been amazing, even though it's all online and I'm not on campus. It has been an amazing like experience thus far, and just that clear communication, and knowing what's possible, what could like be worth fighting for, will help you a lot in the long run as you guys are deciding what school you guys want to go to and which is the best financial option for you guys. I hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to see what happens next for you all. Take care. Bye.
Long, complex, but really important process. So it can often be the deciding factor in where you end up going next year. So use your different resources to help you decipher your offers. Talk to the important people in your life to determine what's the best option for you. And this can mean engaging in frank and sometimes uncomfortable conversations with your family and with your support network and with your mentor about money. And don't forget that you can continue to look for scholarships even after you receive your financial aid package. Now we're going to go over some of the vocabulary associated with financial aid. Again, it can be confusing, but this is important information because it will help you decipher your award letters. So let's get familiar with some of the terms. The most important one is cost of attendance, or COA. This is the estimated cost to attend a specific college for the first year. It includes your tuition, books, food, and housing. And this is all an estimated number that your school is going to show you. The next one is expected family contribution, or EFC, and that's calculated based on what you reported on your financial aid applications. This is a formula that's pulled from your family income, your household size, and other variables. The net cost is the cost of attendance minus all the grants, scholarships, and other gift aid that you've received for your first year of college. So all of that free money is removed from the cost of attendance, and whatever is left is your net cost. Your grants and scholarships are free money and are based on family need and or merit. Work study allows a student to work part-time and earn money towards their college expenses. Subsidized versus unsubsidized loans. Okay, this is confusing. Subsidized loans is a federal loan where the government pays the interest of the loan while you're in college, so the interest does not accrue. With an unsubsidized loan, the interest begins accruing as soon as you take that loan out, whether you're in college or not. So obviously a subsidized loan is a better deal than an unsubsidized loan. The PLUS loan is a parent loan. The parent applies for the loan and is responsible for repaying it. It's not for students. So the way financial aid eligibility is supposed to work is that the cost of attendance minus the expected family contribution equals your unmet need. As an example, the cost of attendance at this school is $20,106, and the expected family contribution is $2,000. This leaves unmet need of $18,106. This financial need is filled with a combination of state and federal grants, work study, federal loans, or scholarships. Because the cost of attendance is different at each school, each financial aid offer is going to look a little different. Ideally, offers are sent by mid-April, so you'll have time to compare and decide on your best option by May 1st, which is National Enrollment Day.
So if that's how we expected financial aid to work out, here's the reality. Sometimes financial aid offers lack details. Sometimes they'll include the cost of attendance. Sometimes that might be hard to figure out. Not only that, but sometimes they don't arrive before May 1st. Again, May 1st is our national enrollment deadline where you'll be choosing where you want to go as your concrete next step. But some of these offers do not come yet. Please be sure to be checking your college portals, your regular mail, like the US Postal Mail, or your email, because a college could contact you with information about your financial aid offer in any of these means, but they may not arrive before May 1st, so you'll need to make the best decision for you. They could come anywhere between now up through then. Some of you have even received some already. In our last webinar, we also went over the process called verification. That's when your college might need more information from you, whether that's about your family situation, more about you, more about your taxes. You'll need to complete that process before the school can even offer you any grants, scholarships, loans, work study, any financial aid package. In addition, one challenge can often be gapping, where the financial need that you are calculated is not always met by all the financial aid offered. Although your need might be listed as something as your EFC on the FAFSA or WASFA or DREAM Act, colleges might not give you that full amount, and there might be some left over in terms of what you need to pay for college. You'll need to calculate on your own, and we'll offer you some tools on how to make sure if you have a gap and how that will be met. And especially right now during the pandemic, family circumstances are changing. What you reported on your FAFSA in the fall or your WASFA or DREAM Act, it might be different than your current family situation, depending on your parents' income, depending on what's going on in your household, if there are health needs, medical needs, etc. That can impact how much financial aid is offered, and there are opportunities to appeal that based on whatever your family circumstance is. Before we go into that appeal process, let's just get a rundown. How do you even read one of these offers? Let's check out this example from UC San Diego. Not all financial aid offers look the same. There's in fact no standard format. So we're just going to go through this example and some key parts to look for. At the top on the left side, you'll see the estimated cost of attendance. That's the COA amount we talked about earlier. You'll see that the school is about $29,000 a year. The amounts broken down equal that sum of about $29,000. That includes tuition and fees, housing, a book estimate, transportation, and other costs. The next section you'll see is the amount of grants and scholarships, sometimes known as gift aid, that is offered to the student. In this student's offer, that totals about $19,500 a year. That includes the Pell Grant, which is a federal grant, the estimated Cal Grant, which is a state-based grant. If you're in Washington, this will say Washington College Grant. The UCSD grant, that's an institutional grant. Sometimes colleges can give out their own free money. So be on the lookout for that from your college, and any outside aid. This might be a scholarship that the student reported to the financial aid office. In this case, the student does not have outside scholarships, but we still see the total of around $19,500. What that amounts to is the net cost. Net cost is defined as the cost of attendance minus any gift aid, grants and scholarships. For this student, that equals $9,700 a year. If we jump to the right side, this school is offering different options to pay that net cost. The first is work study. Again, that's a job on campus where all the earnings you earn in that job go towards your cost of attendance. That one equals up to $2,900 for the student. And then we see various loan options. The first one says Perkins/University loan. The second is federal direct subsidized loan. Again, that's the loan that does not start accruing interest until after you graduate. And then the last is an unsubsidized loan. That one, the student would actually pay even more back because the interest starts accruing immediately when they take it out. At the bottom, we see a family contribution of $0. Please note, when you read these offers, it is a menu of options. You can take the whole package, you could take part, and you can even take an appeal. An appeal happens when you read your offer and you say, this doesn't fit my financial situation. I might need to speak to the financial aid office to make an adjustment or to request more. Here are some circumstances where you would file an appeal. One, if something was misreported on your financial aid application, meaning, did you misreport your family's income? Was there tax information that was misreported? If there is a change as well in terms of a job loss or a change in job, change in household, you can also report that as a change in income, so your financial aid office can adjust for that. If any circumstances have changed in your house, like we said earlier, especially in the pandemic, there are a lot of medical needs, health needs going on right now, perhaps financial needs as well, report that to your financial aid office. Additionally, if you are a competitive applicant who has one really great financial aid offer from school A, but school B is your dream school, there is some room for negotiation if you go back and forth with your dream school around what that competitive offer is. Here are two circumstances that may not work out for the financial aid appeal. One, if your parents say they want you to be independent and they are choosing not to support you financially for college, that is a question that happens, that is best had between you and your family. Your school faculty can definitely be your partner in listening and providing you guidance through that. The financial aid office may not be able to intervene in the same way. Additionally, if you read your offer and you think, I'm just entitled to some more money, they're going to need more of an explanation and reasons than that. The process for filing this appeal is sometimes called a special circumstance letter. You'll file that to your financial aid office and give them the reasons for why you might be requesting more aid, whether that's an income change, a misreporting error, a need in your family's health or other household information. And then the financial aid office will have a specific procedure for you to follow through on that appeal. Ultimately, you really want to compare your financial aid offers. Many of you have experienced a lot of success getting different acceptances and offers, and some of you are still waiting to hear from those. Please note, these financial aid packages are created for you. They're based on your financial situation, and they're based on the cost of attendance at different price points. If you apply to a state school and a private school, the cost of attendance is going to be different. Even if you apply to one state school and then another, the cost of attendance will be different. So each package will be specialized to that school because they have different grants, scholarships, and loans, even institutionally, to offer sometimes. So make sure you're comparing back and forth the best price for you. To help you with that comparison, there is a tool in Overgrad that can actually break down all these different things, like how much grants you're offered, how much loans, what your unmet need is, or even if there's a gap. To access this tool, you'll click Applications, View Applications in your Overgrad account. You'll click the Award Letters tab, and then you'll enter in information from your award letters. Please note, you will need access to your awards first. So as those come in, save those, and then log into Overgrad so you can input line by line. And then it will produce a comparison tool like you see in front of you, where you can actually get a full chart with all of your offers side by side. It will even produce bar graphs and other metrics for you to decide what is the best package for you. As we said earlier, financial aid can be intimidating. It can be a lot of information to handle, so let's take a moment to process it with your mentor group. Take 10 minutes now and debrief. What did you hear? Why is this work important? What did this make you think about? And what questions do you have? Pause the video here for 10 minutes to discuss, and then when you're ready, press play. So let's get to it. Here are some action items to support you as you interpret your financial aid offers. First, there's a task card that can actually walk you through choosing the best package for you. It's tinyurl.com/taskcardfinaid. When you log into that, you'll receive some directions on how to use that tool in Overgrad and even see a full screencast example of a student comparing their different financial aid offers. Be sure to continually check your college portals for different action steps. Like we said earlier, to get these offers, which will be coming anywhere between now all the way through the second semester up to that May 1st deadline and potentially beyond. It could come through your college portal. It could come through email. It could come from your US postal mail. Make sure you're checking those regularly, and there might be additional actions or documents you need to send as well. Make sure you're paying attention to those deadlines. Continue to update your application status in Overgrad. We're really excited to celebrate with you as you receive decisions and talk with you about what is your best concrete next step in front of you. Updating Overgrad and changing your status from applied to your admissions decision is going to be the best way your school faculty can have your back in the process. And then, of course, keep applying to scholarships. Make sure you check out college.summitps.org for different resources on how to start your scholarship search. Not only that, but down in the description box below this video, if you click show more, there are some great resources and tools that can help you with your financial aid process. Everything from a tool that will help you write that special circumstances appeal to these slides so you can access the instructions on how to get into that Overgrad tool today. Let's start right now by going to tinyurl.com/taskcardfinaid and start interpreting your financial aid offers to figure out what is the best package for you.